So the billion-dollar question, Brock, is with our football team. When we look at our offensive line, I believe they can be good enough to get it done for Geno Smith so we can maximize our receivers. Does that make sense?
Yes. What about on defense?
What about it? Elaborate, please.
Well, I mean, that's the other big question. It's funny, you went right to, how are they going to handle all of the guys that are worth playing in the secondary? And I think it's a really good question that not everybody has thought about, and I love the way your mind works on it. Honestly, I think it's a fantastic subject. Mm-hmm. But the other one that's sort of glaring is just, is this defensive line going to be good enough, better enough than last year to help and improve a team that was 30th in the league at stopping the run?
They are going to be better.
Right. And I think we all agree with that.
Yes.
Are they going to be better enough?
They are going to be better enough. I truly believe they're going to be better enough to do what is the question.
Right.
What are you talking about?
Well,
better
what's
enough
reasonable? Last year they were 30th.
Win Super Bowl? What are you asking?
Super Bowl. No. Let's say NFC. I don't know. I don't know what I'm asking.
I'm better enough for what?
Well, let's just
a legit playoff run that when you match up with San Francisco, you and I were worried before that playoff game in the regular season games. And
be a contender.
Better enough to contend with our starting unit. Yes. I like our two big boys we brought up front. I love Chenna and I love Mafe. I love those dudes to get it done. I could depend on these dudes to when it comes in the passing game, they're creating hell for the quarterback. In the run game, they're getting TFLs. I love those dudes. Those four.
Okay.
I'm a big fan. Now let's take a step back. let's go to, they got twos and threes.
Right.
Let's take a step back. I want those same guys to come in and be able to do enough to get that job done. When we're playing the San Francisco 49ers, when Jalen Hurts is running that QB sneak and we need that big time 3rd-and-1 stop, that's what I want.
Well, so here's the question guys. along those lines, and I guess it's kind of for both of you guys, right? All right, it's week 1. Let's fast forward 10 or 11 days. It's week 1, and yeah, you sort of know who your starters are going to be on your defensive line, right? You know it's probably going to be Jaron Reed at nose, and then it's going to be Edwards at one defensive end or tackle, whatever they're calling it, spot, and then Draymond Jones at the other. I think we all feel like that's the case. Week 1, I don't mean even down the line. Who's rotating in? Cam Young hasn't practiced or played in weeks. Mike Morris has a shoulder injury. He hasn't practiced or played in weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Miles
I guess
Adams.
You got Miles Adams, who's a rotational piece last year.
So let's do this. Let's do this. These coaches get paid plenty of dollars, right, to formulate a game plan, to execute at a very high level on Sundays.
I don't think this is a coach issue, KJ.
Listen to me. Hear me out. So with what you just said, if we are thin at defensive tackle, what do we do? Do we go out there and run our base 3 linemen, a nose, and 2 threes? Or do we come out and do we go with what we know? You got outside guy, and 2 defensive tackles. Jay Reed and Jones, let's roll.
So you're talking about really running more of a 4-3 and playing Mafe and Chenna more in a defensive end role.
More. If you're the coach, wouldn't you do that? I'm thin at defensive lineman. I can't go 3 big boys because I don't got the guys to do it. Wouldn't you do that? That's what I would do. Salk, that's what you should do.
Let me ask the same question then that I've been asking for a year. If you don't have enough guys to run this 3-4, and you can't find enough guys, because honestly, what I thought is that this was a personnel issue, that this is a who are you going to find in the next 10 days problem, rather than how are you going to maneuver your scheme problem. But if you can't find the right guys to play the nose, and you can't find enough guys to play defensive line, why the commitment to this 3-4 rather than going back to a 4-3 that was so effective here for so long?
Let's watch what they do game 1.
Okay.
I put my money on this is going to be a multiple type of defense. We're going to see so many dudes rotate in. We're going to see some different fronts. It's not necessarily a 3-4 nose, 2 threes.
Yep.
Go out there and play some football. Let's see.
Okay.
Coach Carroll and Clint Hurt
what
they do game 1. It's a preseason.
I like that answer.
Oh, yeah.
I like that answer a lot.
Well, you know what's coming, though. There's only one problem with all of that. That guy on the other side who's been pretty good game planning against you've had to go against Sean McVay in that system and everything that he likes to do, KJ. So do you think he's going to allow you and want you in nickel? Or do you think he's going to say, let me put 2 tight ends and maybe 2 backs in here, and let's see how that undersized Achena and Mafe can hold up on some of those edges again and again and again and again.
Always forget
and
that
again.
there's another team out there. That's what gets you every time.
Right? I mean, that's where some of this fun chess match comes in, especially in this opener against that guy on that other side.
It's a chess match, Brock. It's a chess match, and we know that Sean McVay is one of the best of this generation to do it, to formulate a game plan, to go back and watch film. What did these guys struggle at last year? I'm going to watch this preseason film, but I'm going to hang my hat on. They got to show me.
Yep.
They got to prove it to me that they could stop it. And I'm going to come out here 25 times. Running the football is a minimum. Is a minimum that I'm expecting from Sean McVay. So if he comes out there and wants to use his pretty toys with Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp and Reynolds, shame on him.
So you know how he wants to play. He's going to shorten the game. He's going to get to 3rd and 3 to 6, and Cooper will go win on 3rd and 3 to 6.
And the other thing, the other way you got to take him out of that is by scoring enough yourself. That Rams defense is not the strength of its team anymore at all. They were destroyed in the preseason. You're supposed to be a pretty good offensive team, and you got these weapons at wide receiver, and you got the running game that you want. Score enough to not let them do that.
We got next.